were to ask a real estate agent what they do for marketing, I guarantee you some of the most common answers are going to be, well, we do Zillow or we do Realtor.com. And I think a lot of real estate agents that are growing their careers overlook the core strategies that really, regardless of the market that we're in, always work and have worked for 20, 30, 40 years in real estate. So the thing that I want to go over today is 6 core strategies that I feel like every rebel agent should be doing in their business. And if you do these things in your business, I guarantee you're never going to have months where you're like, where's my next deal coming from? Or why is my pipeline so low? There's a lot of realtors out there that are just waiting for that next Zillow call. They're waiting for that next lead to come in when there is a market full of business out there that you could go after yourself without spending the money that you're doing with Realtor.com and Zillow. So I want to go through these 6 core strategies. Now, I'm going to touch on these strategies today. We'll break these down into probably their own videos, their own training. But I want to touch on ideas that you should be implementing and ideas that you start putting into your businesses now, especially as the market's starting to change. We're starting to see interest rates go up. We're starting to see inventory pick up. We have an amazing opportunity in front of us. And if you remember the market that pre-pandemic, 2019, 2 to 3 month inventory, interest rates were around 5%. We had some of the best market. We had one of the best markets in front of us. We were selling real estate, contracting buyers, not dealing with the insane multiple offers and over list price. That market's starting to come back. And what are you doing to prepare yourself for that next wave? So let's go through these 6 key strategies to grow in your business. The first strategy is one of my favorites, geographical farming. Now, geographical farming is basically you take a neighborhood and you're going to farm that neighborhood. You are going to put your marketing in front of that households for the next 12 months. So farming that neighborhood means you're going to market it over a period of time. Think about it as like a farmer on a farm. Farmer has a big field. They go out, they plant seeds. It rains, sunshine. That seed grows into a plant. They cut the plant. Then they sell the plant. That's how they make money, but it's not overnight. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people forget in marketing. It's, I want to pay Zillow so they give me a lead tomorrow and I'm out with a buyer tomorrow and now I'm hustling that one client. Geographical farming is saying, I'm going to take over an entire neighborhood. I'm going to farm that neighborhood. I'm going to be the preferred realtor for that neighborhood. So if any home sells in that neighborhood, I'm an option. So let's take an example. So when you're geographical farming, you want to find a large neighborhood. And for example purposes, let's say there's a neighborhood of 500 homes, 10% of those homes sell on an annual basis. The first thing you want to look into is that not one agent is selling greater than 20% of that market. So if you're looking into the comps on that and there's one dominant agent in that neighborhood, move on to the next neighborhood. Find a neighborhood that maybe you've done business in, you have some knowledge about the neighborhood. It could be your own, it could be your neighborhood of that you live in. Everybody should be farming their own neighborhood. You know your neighborhood the best. So let's take an example. We're going to go into the ROI, just kind of give you an example how this works. Let's say example, we said 500 homes in the subdivision, and you're estimating that you are going to spend $1 per house per month for 12 months. And you're going to send a piece of marketing that costs about $1 per household. And like I said, we can break these down as different ideas that you can send out as far as marketing material. But you're going to spend about $6,000 per that year. Okay. The average sales in that neighborhood is $500,000, a 2.5% commission. That's a gross GCI of $12,500. Let's assume that 10% turnover in that neighborhood. That means there's 50 homes that are going to turn over. And you're able to, out of those 50 homes, take 10% market share. That's pretty low. 10% market share means you sell 5 homes. A 10% market share, selling 5 homes at 2.5% is a gross GCI of $62,500. Now, your $6,000 investment, you minus that out, it's pretty good ROI for a neighborhood. Now, what a lot of realtors and why they don't do the geographical farming is because it's not instant. They go out and they 1 month, they send the mail out, and guess what happens? They don't get a phone call, nobody responds to them. I'm not sending another piece of mail out. It didn't work. See, marketing isn't something that works overnight. Marketing is something that you have to test at a minimum 6 months. That's a minimum 6 months. If you want to be in marketing, you have to be in, not just in the market, not just what you're sending to that neighborhood. You got to also be, if they Google search, they go on social media, they are seeing you in multiple different areas to say, you know what, this realtor really is the realtor of this area, the realtor of my neighborhood. And so a lot of real estate agents give up on geographical farming. It's a very lucrative way of advertising, but you got to take that strategy. Even if you spent $2 per household or $3 per household every single month and sending mail, doing, if there's a neighborhood, if it's part of an HOA and they have a big HOA event and you're bringing an ice cream truck in, or, you know, whatever you're doing to be in front of that neighborhood, you're impacting that neighborhood. And if you stay consistent with it, you'll become that realtor of that neighborhood and watch your business grow. Now, the next way to grow your business is circle prospecting. Now, circle prospecting means that you're out there and you have an event that takes place in a neighborhood. You have a buyer that buys, you have a buyer looking in a neighborhood, you have a listing in a neighborhood. And what you're going to do is circle prospect. And the idea of circle prospecting is just take the house in which that event occurred, draw a radius around that house, and market that event in that radius. Example could be like you have a house you just listed and you're doing an open house. Well, circle prospecting would say, well, I'm going to take the neighborhood, quarter mile around the neighborhood, and I'm going to send mail to inviting people to the open house. I'm going to go out in that neighborhood and I am going to door knock and invite people to that open house. I have a buyer looking in that neighborhood that is struggling to get a contract. And here's the little example that we would put in place there. Now, let's just say either you have a phone list or you're sending out a letter, and you have a client that lost a multiple offer and they really want to be in that neighborhood. I got one right now that's looking in Ellicott City. We wrote a letter out to the entire neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that our parents in. Anytime something hits the market, they've had 2 houses hit the market. They love that home. And it just didn't work out. They got beat out in multiple offers. Now we're going directly to the market. We have a buyer actively looking to pay over list in that neighborhood. And if I was reaching out, this is what I would say. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. My name is Ryan Seebeck with Rebel Real Estate. I'm not sure you're aware, but a home a few doors down just came on the market and sold in a few days. The seller is very motivated, multiple offers, and is currently under contract to sell. You know, I was working with one of the potential buyers that made an offer. We missed out on being able to purchase the home. Due to missing out on that home, they may be willing to pay a premium for a home in your neighborhood. Have you heard of any of your neighbors considering selling? Now, a couple things in the approach that I take with this is, one, I'm not asking them if they are selling. I'm asking them if they've talked to any of their neighbors, because this house came on the market and sold so quick. Maybe through conversations of real estate in the neighborhood, they also said, we're considering selling. You know, and when I was down our beach neighborhood, and the homes in the neighborhood are selling like crazy. You know, and I go to the pool, and it's like almost every time I go to the pool, conversations with the other neighbors have to do with the real estate market. So people talk about that. Neighbors talk about what's going on in the neighborhood. So it's really important that you are talking to people in the neighborhood of those events, circle prospecting. Because real estate is one of those things that people can just commonly talk about, and especially in this world. You know, this world is so divided politically. You know, real estate is one of those neutral grounds. People can always talk real estate, and real estate is a common ground that people want to talk about it. They want to know what's going on. They want, you know, hey, you know, I was at the pool, you know, down the beach. I didn't even know my neighbor's house was on the market. And, you know, they were talking about, you see your neighbor's house is on the market. And I was like, man, I came home, there was a lockbox on it. It was on the market. So again, it's one of those things that people are talking about. So, but you have to talk. You have to circle prospect. You have to be the voice of that neighborhood, or you have to get the voice out. And circle prospecting is one of those tools that you should be doing on events that you have. You may have one listing. That's all you have as a realtor right now, is one listing in your pipeline. Circle prospect that listing. Find another one. Find a buyer for that listing. So there's a lot of different ways that you can work with the circle prospecting, but it's a really cool tool that's always worked over the years in helping you grow your business. The third, and this is one of those things that it's kind of like geographical farming, you know, the database growth, and why it's in bold, consistent communication. So database growth, you want to have a database of people that you've worked with, people that you know, people that know what you do. And you want to send data to them every single month. What you have going on in your real estate world, what's going on in the real estate world, cool ideas, niche things that are happening, things that are coming to the market. Anything you have that's valuable information. We're in a unique time in the market right now. Most people, from just what they hear on TV, think the real estate market is about to crash. A lot of consumers that I talk to right now, they really feel that, the market's going to crash. And I always ask the question, okay, the market's going to crash. Why? Why do you think the market's going to crash? Well, interest rates are up is what they tell me. And, my response to that all the time is that market's not going to crash. If we had 7-8 months of inventory, because normal in the market is 6 months. We've been in an abnormal market for 2-3 years now, where properties are selling in less than 6 months on the market. 2 to 3 months is a really healthy market. We're not even at 2 to 3 months. So until inventory is sitting on the market because of interest rates, then we're going to start having concerns in the market. But it's not really changing. Inventory is starting to pick up. We're not even to a month's inventory. So the market isn't about to crash. So and people always correlate the crash to what happened in 2008 but that was because a lot of bad mortgages were written. Right now in the market that we're in right now, interest rates are still really healthy, even though they're a little bit up from what we're used to. But inventory is really low. Until inventory picks up, with starts exceeding the demand, we don't have any reasons to see that this next market that's ahead of us is going to change. So getting information out. So database growth is try to get as many people on your mailer list, as many people into your database that you're communicating with on a monthly basis, sharing what you're doing in the business. And sharing what you're doing in the business isn't just like, oh, I closed this house. It might be things that you do for a charity, things you might, information that you're getting out as far as news, market updates, as far as what's going on in the market. People want to know what's going on in the market locally because a lot of what they hear on the news is stuff that's going on a national basis. So database growth, consistent communication with a large group of people that know what you do. And by staying consistent with sending information out on things that you do is going to make them, anytime something real estate related happens to them or a sphere, you're going to be top of mind for that referral or for that real estate transaction. So grow a database. And, there's a lot of different systems out there you can grow a database with. We use the Chime CRM. You can do it right inside of Chime. You can have a own category of your database. You could have, MailChimp or Constant Contact, people that you communicate within those systems. They're free or barely, they cost very minimum on a monthly basis. Cool tools that you can grow your database with. But grow your database, get a database. A lot of the real estate trainers across the country, they talk about database growth. And if you consistently stay in front of your database, that 10% of your database will send you a referral per year. So if you have 500 people inside of your database that you're sending business to, and you're really doing a good job consistently communicating with them, that means you're going to get about 50 referrals per year. That's life changer. If you only had 100, that's 10. If you only had 50, that's 5. But people that are not doing it, not growing that database, aren't getting that extra 5, 10, or 50 transactions per year. Take a database, put the database together, and grow it. I guarantee it will change your business. Next is social media marketing. This is one of those things that, everybody, thinks, social media is probably one of the biggest ways to get your, biggest audiences out there, and the easiest way to get your stuff in front of an audience. But it's not always what you're putting, not putting stuff out there is what you're putting out there is the most important. It's I'm not just standing out there every time I have a closing. I'm sitting there with a sold sign and, hey, look at me, I'm getting a real estate commission. I think that a lot of people, that's boring. But doing things that right now on social media, what's hot? Social media is video, talking into your phone and just saying, hey, this is what's going on in the market. Hey, I'm at this cool house, I really like, one of the things that really attracts me to stuff on social media, I love looking at unique real estate. What's going on, market trends, like what are the new cabinets, what are the new refrigerators and appliances and things that go into homes that are just like next level. I don't know why, I gravitate to that stuff. But things that being creative on social media and getting things out there that are going to catch people's eyes and they follow you and you're sending out really good content, over that, social media is only just another extension of your knowledge of the industry. So what you're putting out there is cool and unique. People are going to follow you. And through following you and the information that you're putting out there, you're changing their life. You're impacting them, saying you're sending information or, pictures or videos that are engaging. And through engagement, they know who you are. I don't think social media is ever going to be the thing that's going to change your pipeline. I don't think social media is going to say, look, I only grow my business through social media. But what social media does is gives you a big audience. It's your audience of people that you can stand in front of and get your information out there. And through getting your information out there, people are going to say, you know what, this person knows what they're doing. Or if they, you're going on an appointment, and what if they go to your social media page and you have like 3 posts versus the other agent they're interviewing for that same listing? They go in there and they look at their social media page and it's just filled. They found themselves just lost when in 20 or 30 minutes of just scrolling through interesting information. Who are they hiring at that point? So these are key things to your business. Growing your social media it's very important. Now, we talked about these core strategies or stuff that worked over the last 20 years. I mean, social media is kind of like that new category. Social media hasn't been around for 20 years, but maybe it has been around for 20 years, but not in real estate marketing. So, this is kind of the newer technology to the core strategies, but you have to have a social content. If it's uncomfortable, most of the stuff that you're going to do is going to be uncomfortable. Make it comfortable, and I guarantee it changes your business. Now, next, number 5, a CMA a day. This is the CMA is probably one of the coolest tools that we have as a realtor, because it's really the only thing that I think we really hold as real estate agents that gives us value of who we are. Now, what I mean by that is a CMA is a tool that we have access to the comps, sold data. But through the sold data and how easy it makes it through the MLS, gathering that sold data, we're able to put that sold data together and make a competitive market analysis, and send that to a client. And that's going to give them real data for their neighborhood. So it's really cool. Like, just had a client make an offer on a house this morning, and pulling my comps on the property. I love doing comp reports, comp analysis. It's just one of those tools that I'm like, all right, this is me as a doctor dissecting that house, and telling and guiding the client exactly where the value of that home should be. And the house that I looked at today was underpriced. There was homes in the neighborhood that sold for much higher. And I was able to pull together data, and through the data that I prepared for them, they're like, wow, you were like spot on in this value. Being really good at a CMA is gonna change your business. But by sending out a CMA every single day to your database, that's information that people aren't gonna overlook. You can email it. I like mailing it. Mail it right to their house. If it's a past client or somebody in your sphere, their property address, and you mail them a detailed report, they're not going to just throw it away. They're going to appreciate that you send it over to them. Put together a strategy. Send a CMA every single day. Following week, follow up on every CMA you sent out. Be like, hey, I just calling. I was thinking about you. I wanted to send you some information. Everybody's confused about values and where prices are in the market today. I just wanted to send you a CMA. I was thinking about you and wanted to let you know where your home value is. Then you get into an engaging conversation. How can that not spark whether or not they're looking to do anything, or now you just did something really out of the box for them, as they're over the next couple of weeks, they're talking to their neighbors, friends, and family about real estate. You're top of mind. So that's a really cool tool that you can do. Just take a CMA every day, 20 minutes, put together a CMA for somebody inside of your sphere, and send it out to them. Next week, follow up to them. Ask them what they thought about the CMA. And just have an engaging real estate conversation with them. It's a great way to touch base with your sphere. Start doing a CMA a day and you watch your pipeline grow. Now, last, this is one of my favorites, your list of your MVPs. List of MVPs are people that actively are sending you referrals. Who sent you a referral over the last 12 to 24 months? And who do you know that's going to be a good referral source? And MVPs are a little bit different than your database of clients, passing database of your sphere. MVPs are the ones that are actually walking billboards for your business. And what you want to do is you want to make the people that are the walking billboards for your business the most important in your business. These are people that, if anybody talks to them about real estate, instantly they're your business card, getting your information over to that individual so they can get you that referral. And your MVPs, you want to do something a little different. You want to take them to dinners. You want to go to lunches. I go out with a lot of my friends, on the weekends and stuff. Every once in a while, I'll pick the tab up and say, you know what? I'm investing into you guys. If you know anybody that's looking, give me an opportunity. If you have any friends or family looking in the market, I'm going to pick this tab up. You guys just send my information over. And guess what happens? All my friends and family send me referrals. It's amazing. So your MVPs are people that know you the best, that are going to send you referrals and do things special for them. Don't just, you get a referral from somebody and you send them a $10 Starbucks card. No, do something that's actually, they feel you went out of your way to do something special for them, and do it very often. Do it at least quarterly. Every quarter, your MVPs, you're doing something nice for them. Your MVPs are the ones that you bring to client events. Your MVPs are the ones you go and get coffee with. Your MVPs are the ones you want to call on a monthly basis. These are the people that are most important. I got a buddy of mine that doesn't matter who's buying or selling real estate. If they are within his 6-foot circle and they mention real estate, he's just like my walking billboard, and he's a guy that, gives me referrals. I talk to him all the time, what's going on in his family life, what's going on, in real estate, his family, his immediate family. Like, just stay in touch with these people, be a part of their life. And being a part of your life, you're going to find out these MVPs are your walking billboards. This is probably, out of the 6 core strategies, one of my favorites. I love having people that just admire what you do. These people admire what you do. And when you do great things in the business, they're the first ones to stand up and congratulate you for the things that you're doing in the business. So this MVP list, really, really awesome way to grow your business. I just think if you stay in front of these people, these are the people you're impacting the most. Now, just a quick follow-up. We're just going to go through the 6 strategies as a final slide of this presentation. And we got to remember growth strategies, things that grow your business. You want to farm neighborhoods. You want to circle prospect events, grow a database, get social content out on a daily, every other day, get social content out, send a CMA per day to your sphere. And man, be a part of your MVP's lives. These are the people that they have something great going on and they post something in social media. You're calling them, congratulating them. Hey, your son just won a championship. We'll call them. Say, hey, just wanted to call you real quick. Saw that your son had, won a championship. Well, how awesome that is. You know what I mean? Just, these are people you really want to impact their lives with. And I guarantee you, this isn't the 6 core strategies isn't just picking one of the 6 and going after it. 6 core strategies growing your business is everything. Do it all. Farm, prospect, grow, get your social content out there, send a CMA a day, and grow your list of MVPs. I would love for a realtor that's doing all 6 of these to come to me and say they're not producing $10 million a year in production. They're actively working these 6 these categories and not producing a difference in their annual income. These are the most important, and you got to go after these strategies and start putting them in your business now. This is a great time of the year to start implementing these strategies. We're going into the fall time of the year. And any questions, we'll kind of break these down into a later training. Like each category, we can break down the how-tos. But these are things you want to start planning now to put into your business.